doing today? I am your host, Lacey G. Soldier Turner, and today I got a very special guest with me. He's been doing this thing, acting for a long, long time, been at a lot of things, so we finna get to know a little bit about him, you know what I'm saying? So without further ado, I want to welcome to the platform CLEAVON JINX McClendon. Welcome to the platform, bro.
What's going on? What's going on, peoples? How you feeling, bro?
Feeling good, bro. I'm gonna let the people get to know a little bit about you. So, can you
Okay.
let the people know where were you born and raised, and how was your upbringing as a child?
I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, South Central to be exact. I was raised by a single mother. Pops wasn't really around, but that's
Yeah,
not his issue or whatever they had going on, whatever. But I was raised out here, and just trying to make it happen. You know what I mean? I can't say that my upbringing was bad. I mean, because mom's worked hard and did what she had to do, and if she had to work multiple jobs, she would do whatever she had to do to make sure I was straight. So, I mean, and it's actually kind of how I started acting. I hope I'm not
oh,
jumping
yeah. Now,
too
look, I want
forward.
to ask you that before you even talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
who you acted in. What
yeah.
made you want to get into acting?
To be honest, at first, it wasn't something that I thought about. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like I say, I grew up in a single parent household, so in the summertime, my mom had to have somewhere for me to go, while she went to work,
mm,
and I don't remember if it was me that asked or she just was like, "All right, let me just put you somewhere." So she put me into an acting school, where Marla Gibbs owned it or ran it, and I was like 7, and so the very first time I ever went on stage, they had a performance. Excuse me, and that performance, it was like I got what we call the acting bug, and so
mm.
it started from there. And after that, I was like, "Mom, I want to do this," and so it went from there. Yeah.
Okay, so I saw that you got your first acting job as an extra in one of my favorite films, the 1993 superhero film Meteor Man. How
Yeah.
was that experience? Did you enjoy it? Tell the people about it.
It was cool. You know what? I think I'm probably the reason the part that I was in like a little in a bathroom when we was spray painting the bathroom.
Mm,
But I can remember, bro, the whole time I was laughing. Like it was just fun, you know what I mean? So I
yeah.
think my part wound up not making it to the actual film,
Mm,
but I remember just being in there and just laughing the whole time because it was fun and I didn't really understand, you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like I didn't understand what was going on, so it was just fun. So that was that. But the experience itself was cool though. You know what I mean? Like you an
Yeah.
extra and your first time, like, oh, okay, this is different. You know what I mean? Like I say, it was fun more than anything.
Did they do the child laws with how you can't be on the set for a certain amount
Yeah,
of
I don't. You know what? I think it was just that one scene, so I don't even think I was there for the 9 hours. I mean, yeah, of course, I'm sure if I was over there, they would have. You know what I mean? Because they don't play around with stuff like that.
yeah.
But yeah, it was. I don't remember. Like I said, I was young, so I don't think I was there for 9 hours. But yeah, I definitely remember that. And you got to go to school and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Okay, and I saw that you also had a reoccurring role on the 1997 sitcom The Good News. Can you tell me about that and that experience?
Yeah, man, that was like one of my to this day, that was one of my most favorite parts that I've ever done. And it was cool because a lot of those people, like, they embraced me, you know what I mean? Like I kind of like became family. So even though I wasn't a series regular, like anytime I would show up, it was love. Like, people was like, "Hey man, how you doing?" and stuff like that. So it definitely was a good experience, and to the point where, like, once they realized that they didn't have to bring me back for whatever specific episode I was filming, I
Yeah.
would go back and they would allow me to get the clothes. So
Okay.
I would be able to take the wardrobe home, which is like pretty rare because,
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, so that was cool. And I remember I think one time, like, my birthday was around, so they got me birthday gifts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, like it was cool. It was a dope experience for sure, for sure. And I think that was my very first time as far as like being with the live audience.
Mm.
I had filmed before, but it was the first time where it was like a live audience, and it's like, oh, okay. It was different, you know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
cool because once everything start happening, you an actor, so you kind
Yeah.
of block certain stuff out. But yeah, it was you get to interact with people in the audience and stuff like that, so it was cool.
Was you nervous about the live audience, or was it cool? Like,
No, I think it was cool. I mean, because at that time, by that time, I had already been doing like theater and stuff like that. So theater is live
mm,
audience, so it's you kind of get used to it after a while. It's not so nerve wracking, and they're not right on top of you.
yeah, got you. Yeah,
Like got you got the cameras and all of that stuff. So to a certain extent, if you just block it out, you don't really know that they're there, if that makes sense.
yeah,
But
I got
they're
you.
there. But no, I wasn't really nervous like that. I think the only time I got nervous was the head of the show. His name is Ed Weinberger. We were in, so we would tape two episodes. One, I'm not, excuse me, no, we would one episode we would film it twice. So we would film
Okay,
one afternoon or in the morning, and then the other one in like in the evening.
okay.
So we filmed the episode. We filmed the first part in the morning. So we go film it again in the afternoon. And but at lunchtime he comes in and was like, "Hey, CLEAVON, do you think you can cry?"
Yeah,
I you know what I mean? I could try. I could give it a go, and yeah. So that one I was nervous, and I wound up being able to do it. And
yeah,
at the time I think I think I might have been like 11 or 12. I think at the time. So that was my very first time ever, like crying on camera, and that one was nervous. You know what I mean? Again,
yeah,
live people and
yeah.
hoping that you can do what was asked of you. So yeah, that was it right there.
Look, how did you make yourself cry? Did you think about like something sad or something?
I mean, yeah, you just
Yeah,
think about some stuff that's going on in your life or whatever, and then just try to, like, I remember like sitting by myself, and the one thing about actors that we all respect each other's space.
mm,
So once I kind of went to the side, nobody really bothered me. So I was just able to just sit there and get in my zone, so to speak, and I never forget it. I remember when we were actually taping the scene, I was looking down at the ground, and I remember like the tears started coming in there, and I lifted my head up, and
mm,
then after that it was that. But it was cool, because again, like I said, that was the first time that anybody had ever asked me to do that, so
yeah.
that was cool.
Okay. So I want to ask you, you was on two of my favorite shows. So how was it like working on Malcolm in the Middle and the Bernie Mac show?
The Bernie Mac show, bro, that was cool. That was cool because at that time he was Bernie Mac.
Yeah, fact. Yeah.
But he was, man, he was cool. Like, he was actually cool, in terms of sometimes you can get a little apprehensive about being around stars and stuff like that, and what sometimes people portray
Yeah.
to the public is sometimes not what it's really like.
Hmm.
Nah. He like, but like even before we started to film, hey man, how you doing? Like, just real cool, like real cool, to the point where you go, all right, like cool, like real cool. And
Yeah.
Malcolm in the Middle, that was cool. I think I was there for like one day, and it
Mm,
was cool. It's like when you get on successful shows like that, sometimes you can be on them and go, all right, I see why. Like the crew,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
all vibing. It's no real egos like that. Like it's just a cool environment. And for somebody that's coming in like for a day, or even if you're recurring, it can be a little nervous. You can be a little nervous because you don't know the flow of the show. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, those two it was cool, man. Like, it was real cool. Like, I remember, like I say, really like telling my mom, I was like, man, Bernie Mac is actually cool. Like, for real. But like, not to say I expected him to be not cool, but just when you come up against him, go, oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that. So you got your breakout role, in the 2015 blockbuster feature film Straight Outta Compton, one of my
And
favorite films. You
man,
played the role of Jinx. How was it playing that role in such an iconic film and an epic time period?
man, I think that was, like I say, that was the crazy dope experience. You know what I mean? Like, to literally because I was raised in the '80s. You know what I mean? I was born in the '80s. So by the time that the film came around, I was like late 20s.
Mm.
So I had grown up seeing these individuals, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, and like to actually see these people in person was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was starstruck. I'm
I
be
would
honest.
be too.
I'm
Shit, I would be too.
honest with you, I was starstruck. Like, wow, like, damn, like, okay, but but cool. Like the
Yeah.
whole experience itself was like something that I'll never forget because, like I say, to see these individuals in person after so many years of seeing them on award shows and just walking around and just like, damn, like, okay. I mean, but like, and for me, it was great because I actually never auditioned for the role of Jinx. I
Mm.
auditioned for something else. I
Mm.
auditioned for something called, it was called Looting Blood. That so it was somebody that was, if I remember correctly, I think it was somebody that was speaking to Ice Cube, like as he was pulling up to the riots or something like that. I don't remember verbatim, but I think it was something like that. And so I did the audition, and then I received a call from my agent, like after, not directly after, but maybe a couple days or something after, and she was like, "Hey, F. Gary Gray wants to see you for the role of Jinx."
Mm.
Like, okay, cool. So you know what I mean? Like, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. So I wound up getting, for the audition, I had to do some material. Like I say, Jinx didn't have that many lines in the actual thing, so it wasn't really any material for him during the for the audition. So I did some other people's stuff, and yeah, luckily I
Yeah.
was able to do my thing and got the job, and I think that one was like, how you do stuff, and sometimes you don't really think about the impact
Yeah.
of what it does or what it could do. And then when I started to, like, when I started seeing it and then seeing the reaction of people, it was like, wow, like I actually am in a movie of this caliber. You know what I mean? And it was like, it was cool. Like, I enjoyed that whole experience all in and of itself because, you know, the guys, they were all kind of like around my age. The one who played MC Ren, Aldis, I had known him through acting school before. Everybody else I didn't actually know before filming, but it became like a brotherhood, you know what I mean? And it's like, is one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. Like, and I'm exact, like, still to this day sometimes I sit back and like, damn, I was in that movie,
Yeah.
Like, it
Yeah.
was a crazy experience. It was dope, man, for real.
Did you go to the premiere?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
was that? How was that experience? Like looking at yourself on screen to see the
It was
audience.
it was a little crazy because I've always been the kind of person where, for me, my favorite thing to do is to film it. I don't really like to watch myself because as an actor I wind up critiquing myself. Like, I can't look at it just from like unbiased eyes. I'm always looking at it and I'm always looking at my mistakes. But for that one, it was like, it was cool, and to see people laugh and stuff, like, at the, it was cool. But the whole experience of it, the red carpet, and just the media, and it was, I remember being like kind of overwhelmed, nervous,
Uh-huh.
because like I'll give you an example. Like, as I'm pulling up, my mother and I, we pulled up, and we hop out the car, and there's Bone Thugs and Harmony hopping out their car. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then you go into the after party afterwards, and you've seen all of these celebrities, and it's just like, damn, okay. Oh, like, it was an experience, man. Like, like one of the first ones where you go, okay, this is really what it's about. This is it. So it was, yeah, it was an experience, man, to say the least.
Hey, man, that's a great thing. That's great that you got to experience that feeling for real.
Yeah, bro.
So I know in 2024 you started the short film something about mother. Can you tell the people about that?
Yeah, so that was a short film actually written by my mother. She directed it and everything, and so that was a cool one because it was more personal because it was my mother. You know, like you do jobs and stuff like that. You always
Yeah.
good. But that was the first time my mother and I actually got a chance to work together in that capacity. Because growing up as a kid, it was mostly her taking me to the set and, kind of being the momager, so to speak, or
Mm,
whatever. But that was the first time of like me as a grown man with kids and a wife and her being able to like go along on that journey with me. So it was a dope experience. Like I really did enjoy that one just because of the fact that it was my mother
yeah.
and I was able to see my mother every day. Not to say that I don't, but it was to be able to see her and to see her in her element and see her excited and excited, and that's what it was for me. So that one was cool. That one was definitely cool.
Okay. So you've been doing this acting thing for a while. On your journey, what would you say has been your greatest challenge?
My greatest challenge, I would say probably getting used to hearing the word no.
Yeah, I heard that a lot.
And what I mean
Yeah.
by that is that anybody that's listening and watching, as an actor, you hear no more than you hear yes. But the beautiful thing about this business is all it takes is just one yes. You know what I mean? So to get used to feeling like you did a good job, feeling like you were the best person for the part, and still not getting the part, that I think is an adjustment. And I think that part can be challenging because it can deter some people and it can really hit at your confidence sometimes if you hear a lot of no's consecutively. Like, if you ask any actor, unless there were what we call quote unquote a one hit wonder,
Yeah.
most people, if you speak to them, they didn't book more jobs than they got.
Fact. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you got to get used to that part of it. But I think that would be one of the challenging things. And yeah, I would say probably that's the most challenging part is the understanding that you're gonna hear no, and whatever, as hard as you may have worked on an audition or as hard as you worked, it may not be
Mm,
enough. But just understanding that it's not your fault,
fact.
because
Yeah.
a lot of times in this industry it comes down to look. If you look a certain way or if you don't fit a criteria for a character, like you can be good, but it just may not be your chance. You know what I mean? So just understanding that part and just realizing like just because it's a no now
Mm,
doesn't mean it's gonna be a no tomorrow. You know?
fact.
So
I had interviewed Anwan Glover who played Slim Charles on The Wire, and he
hmm
said the same thing. He's like, first he used to get mad, like, "Mother, what you mean?" But then he
man,
said he
really?
had to learn that he like you gonna get a lot of no's, but like you said, it take that one yes. So,
Yeah, for real. Cause this is definitely going to happen. Like I don't it don't matter who you are, like you're gonna Robert De Niro has heard no. Al, you
mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Denzel has
fact,
heard no. You know what I mean?
fact, yeah,
So but we both look at them individuals, and that's just two names that I mentioned.
fact,
We look at them
fact,
and go, ain't nobody telling you no, but it's happened,
fact.
It's
Mhm.
like that's the one thing that as far as understanding that that's gonna happen, as
Yeah,
long as you don't let that deter you and as long as you don't let it mess with your confidence like that, because at the end of the day in life in general, everything is about confidence.
facts.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So as long as you don't let that, okay, cool, y'all said no. And then another thing too is like sometimes just because it was no for this project doesn't mean a casting director can't look at you and go, okay, yeah, you might be better for something else. You know what I
fact.
mean? Like, even though it's not the same in context what you're talking about, but how I got straight out of Compton,
Yeah,
I auditioned for one thing,
and the cat
I
somewhere else.
wound up getting something else that I didn't even think of. You know what I mean? So it's the industry can be crazy, but it's a beautiful thing though.
Okay, so on the flip side of that, what would you say has been your greatest accomplishment?
Oh, hands down, straight out of Compton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was gonna say that, yeah.
Yeah, hands down. I mean, because just the magnitude of it, and as being around those successful people like that, and just being in something that we're in 2025. The movie came out in 2015.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like it's gonna continue, and just based on the story and what it was about, and me myself being from South Central Los Angeles, like, and understanding like this really means something. You
Yeah.
know, so for I think for me to this day, I would say that that is my biggest accomplishment as far as the the work that I've done. Like that is hands down, because it's something that I can always look back on and say, regardless of whatever happened, I was in straight out of Compton.
Facts.
Like I can turn it on and say, hey, that's
Yeah, facts.
me. So I would say hands down that for sure, for sure.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Other than, we you mentioned, having no people learning that, what other advice would you give like a actor that's trying to get into this industry?
I would say to try to put yourself in as many situations. I think one of my issues when I was younger is I didn't appreciate it as much.
Mm,
So I would say to appreciate the journey, and acting classes, their seminars and stuff like that. And don't be afraid to do background work.
mm,
Oh,
yeah,
excuse me, you do background work, sometimes somebody can recognize you from there, and then the connection that you get from there can snowball and trickle down to something else. So that, and I would say, just go at it with the confidence of knowing that whatever goal it is that you're trying to reach, just know you're going to get there no matter what. You
mm,
know what I mean? So just acting classes, make sure you get your chops on, get your get your shit right, you know what I
right,
mean?
yeah,
And again, like I say, don't be afraid to do what some people will call, I'm not doing that.
yeah, facts.
I'm not going to do that, because you never know what's going to happen. So I would say that, and just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, because it can be intimidating in some situations, because I won't say the jobs that I've done, but I will say that I have been on film sets before, and people really pretty much don't talk to you.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Just because it's like you're not important.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Don't let that bother you. You know what I mean? So I would just say, just get you some acting classes. Don't be afraid to do background work if you have to. Network. Um, hit up the friends that you want to hit up, that are in it. See, maybe they have something going on for you. And then small things like um, short films. Things like that. Independent films. Anything to kind of get yourself seen. You know. Because it's extremely competitive industry. But again, we've seen people that we say, this person came out of nowhere, and it may not very well be true. You know what I mean? Like
facts, yeah,
uh, Jason Mitchell,
yeah,
Orleans.
yeah. Salute. I interviewed him too. Salute
Like,
to Jason Mitchell.
dude, you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like, and you see him, like, dude,
yeah,
talent, all hell. You know what I mean? So it's like it doesn't matter where you start; it's where you finish.
facts.
Oh, so it's just keep going it, and then don't be afraid to put yourself in situations that are uncomfortable. That's something that I'm having to learn and have had to learn as I've gotten older. Don't be afraid. You know what I mean? Like this, like me
Yeah,
sitting here talking to you a couple years ago. Honestly, I would not on some Hollywood. No, no, but for
yeah,
real, like not on some Hollywood. I'm
yeah,
good for it, but just I have my own, what's the word that I'm looking for? My own apprehensions, my own nervousness about certain
yeah,
stuff, about things like just talk. I don't really like to talk about myself, if
yeah.
that makes
I
sense.
got you. Yeah,
You know what I mean? But this is something that's important, and you giving me the opportunity. First and foremost, thank you. You giving me the opportunity to talk to me. So, yeah, just do what you got to do, man. Do what you got to do, and just understand that it could take a day, it could take 10 days, it could take 10 years. But as long as you know that eventually you're gonna get to that finish line, whatever that may be, whether you want to be on Broadway, whether you want to be on TV, whether you want to be in movies, it can happen. If it happened to one person, it can happen to you. Just keep that mindset, and you'll be all right.
I like that. Well, I like that answer, man. Y'all see that?
Great.
Yeah,
Appreciate
hey, look, Clayvon dropping them jewels for y'all up in this.
Ryan.
So look, do you have anything else coming up that you want to promote?
I got some stuff that I'm working on. I can't really speak about it right
Okay,
now.
okay.
I'm trying to work on, and just keep a lookout for me, man. And no, I'm gonna hit you up if I got
Yeah,
something.
yeah, we're gonna run it back up in this book
Yeah,
to promote it.
for real, for real, for real.
Okay,
So
so
can I ask you a question if you don't mind?
go ahead, go
What
ahead.
what made you start doing what you doing?
So look, let me tell you. So I write it. So other than I'm gonna tell you about this, but other than this, I write and direct movies. I'm a hip hop artist. I done won some film festival awards, but doing this was never in my card. I never ever in my life wanted to interview nobody. Period. So one day, I reached out to I think I was doing a school project. I was in film school back in 2015, and I was trying to reach out to some celebrities for my documentary I was doing. But then I had reached back out probably 2 or 3 years ago to Play from Kid and Play,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, he usually don't never be on his Facebook page, and I was just like, can I interview you? He was like, yeah. So I interviewed him for like an hour and a half, and I was great at it. It did so, I write for the newspaper, so I just started
Yeah,
reaching out to more celebrities, and every celebrity say they love the way I interview it. So now it's just normal.
it's normal. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But it
Because
was never in my car. I never wanted to do it, never planned to do it. But a guy got me great at it, so I love it.
yeah, see, but then that could I can piggyback onto the question you asked me for other like people that want to get into business.
Yeah,
You ain't plan on doing it. You was doing something else.
yeah. Yeah.
So you
I
never,
made a lot of connections.
you know what I'm saying? Like I can only, I mean, damn, I'm about to sound old. I was gonna say the Rolodex, but I can understand what the, you know what I mean? I know
Yeah,
what the
yeah.
contact is probably looking like.
Yeah,
Looking,
now, yep. I done interviewed
yeah,
Jennifer Lewis, Jason Mitchell,
yeah,
Victor Newman from The Young and the Red. I done interviewed
man.
everybody up in it.
And it's like, and it's good because definitely you made me feel comfortable. Like, they don't know, but it took us a little minute to get
Yeah,
this
exactly. Yeah,
voice.
fact.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But it happened. So it's like,
Yeah.
and you made me feel comfortable. So that's cool. So like, salute you, man, and everything
Appreciate it, bro.
you got going on in the future, man. Like, continue to do you. And where are you from? St. Louis?
St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah.
Yeah, I could pick up the accent. I'm like,
Yeah.
like for sure.
We gonna work together what they already believe that.
Oh man, for sure, for sure. Speaking in existence, you know what I mean? For sure.
Fact. So let the people know where they can find you at, if they want to get in contact with you, anything.
You can contact me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, CLEAVON McClendon. I gotta unblock that thing because I have I got my little personal stuff on there. You know what? It's crazy. Like I need to get a Twitter because I don't really have Twitter. So, yeah, man. Just look out for me, man. If you see me, salute me, and it's all love.
All right. So look, my last question that I
Yes,
love to
sir.
ask all my guests. All right.
Yes,
When
sir.
it is all over and when it is all said and done and you are long gone from this earth, what is it that you want the people to know about Clayvon McClendon?
Uh, that I was true to myself.
Mm,
I mean, I was true to myself. I was a good father. I was a good husband. I was somebody that brought positivity to wherever I was at. Whatever room I'm in, is the vibes is always positive. And somebody who cared. Like cared about other people. Like I would like to say that I'm a selfless person as opposed to selfish.
mm,
Like I much rather big up somebody else than to big up myself. So I would say that like just somebody that just never hated.
mm,
I'm always bigging up other people, but more importantly than anything other than the business and anything, first and foremost that I was a good father and that I was a good husband. Like I would say those things, you know what I mean? And I made my mother proud and my pops, even though he wasn't around, but I made my parents proud.
okay, look at that. Drop the mic on the Clayvon band right there.
Ah.
But thank you, brother. I really appreciate this interview,
Sure.
and I love the things that you're doing. And like I said, whenever you drop your new stuff, we're gonna definitely come spin back around and do this again.
Sure, for sure, man. Appreciate you for having me, man. Y'all have a good one.
No problem. I'll let your people know and let you know whenever I drop write this article and drop this on our platform.
All right. Thank you so much, bro. Have a good one.
You too, brother.
All
Peace
right.
out.
Bye-bye.